Hi artists! Next I'm going to think about adding my automatopoeia word, and we'll use our knowledge of creating bubble letters for this project. So I'm thinking about my composition, and we want, composition is like how the subject, the things in the picture are arranged. And we want it to really kind of look like a lot of action is happening. You know, in comics, they usually do close-up pictures of different things, whatever the action is. So if I'm going to have, my word is going to be zap, and I'm going to draw it nice and big. And it's okay if I draw it so big that the letters have to go off the page. Or kind of overlap each other because they're so big. That just makes it look like the word is really loud, and that's what I want. I want it to look like a lot of action is happening in my picture, that it's zap, that this is my running shoe and I'm zipping around, zip zappity quick. And so I'm going to draw the word zap with an exclamation point. And then I'm going to add some lightning, kind of pointing to my shoe to really emphasize my shoe. I want you to show movement somehow in your picture, either with rectangles. Instead of just like wimpy little lines, we want everything to be really bold. So instead of just doing like a line like you're jumping, like a cartoon is jumping, I want you to add rectangles or triangles. Add a shape, not just a line when you're adding your movement, so that it really shows that you're going fast. Or like if you have splash, because you're splashing and jumping in a puddle, you could add little water, puddle on the bottom, and then water droplets to show that the water's coming out. Okay, so I have my automatopoeia word in bubble letters. I have shapes or thick lines to show movement. And then I'm going to add my comic dots. And the comic dots are little circles that the dots are kind of like if you ever taken a magnifying glass and zoomed in to a newspaper or comic. There's all these little dots to show the pixels. And so adding the dots makes it look like we're zoomed in really, really close. And so usually I would have a tracer to give you, but you can just draw the circles, or if you have a hole puncher, you could punch holes out of a piece of paper and then use it to help you create the circles. I'm just going to draw a couple of the circles, but I'm going to try and make them as similar as I can. You could trace the end of a pencil, like the eraser part, or you could use a hole puncher. But I'm pretty good at just freehanding them, and you can pick any spot to put them in. It's just a spot to add texture. So if there's texture on your shoe and you want to pick a shape to add those texture dots, it's just another element to your art to add texture and make it look like a comic. And then I'm ready to outline with my Sharpie.